So we're gonna go ahead and get started today with beginner 1. So this is gonna be a level 1 beginner. We're gonna really set the foundation here. So a lot of this stuff are gonna be kind of terms and kind of foundational exercises that we'll build onto as we go. So we're gonna get started on our back. So you're gonna go ahead and lay all the way down. And once you're there, you'll go ahead and bring your arms here down by your sides and just have your feet in a nice comfortable position, just about a foot or so away from your body. All right, so we're gonna first just find what we call neutral spine here. So if you feel your pelvis and you bring your hands onto your pelvis, right, you can feel kind of as you start to rock the pelvis forward and back, there's this kind of slight motion that happens with the pelvis. So I want you to imagine that you have a cup of coffee on your pelvis, and if that cup of coffee is there, you don't want it spilling front to back or side to side. So we want to keep that pelvis nice and level, and that's your neutral pelvis. Now, as you move up the spine, you have your lower back, otherwise known as your lumbar spine, and that has a slight curve coming off the mat, not huge, just enough, you could probably slide your hand just ever so slightly underneath there. And then the back of your ribs are nice and heavy in the mat, so no arching or thrusting your ribs forward. And then you have your neck, your cervical spine is off the mat, and your head is nice and heavy in the mat. So your 3 anchor points are your pelvis, your ribs, and the back of your head. And that is your, what we call your neutral spine. So we're kind of build on that in this session here today. I want you to bring your hands onto your rib cage, and we're just gonna take 3 deep breaths here. And when you do this, I want you to think of sending your breath into your hands. So I want you to take a deep inhale as you breathe in, expand your ribs into your hands. And then exhale, let it all go. Those ribs will collapse back down. Good, take another deep breath, inhale. And exhale, release. Good, 1 more deep breath in, sending the breath front to back, side to side. And exhale, let it all go. All right, so that's the breath that I want you to think about using. I know it's a lot to think about at once, but think about sending your breath into your rib cage instead of into your belly. We want to try to keep that core stability, and it's harder to do when you're breathing deeply into your belly. So try to use that ribcage breathing. All right, so now we're gonna bring our hands back onto our pelvis, and we're gonna do that pelvic rocking. So kind of what we were doing just shortly ago. So you're gonna flatten your low back into your mat on your exhale. So you're gonna kind of lift your pelvis up a little bit, and then you're gonna inhale back to neutral pelvis. And then we're gonna again exhale as you tilt this. If you had your cup of coffee, it would be pouring into your belly button, and then inhale back to neutral. Good, let's do that again. Exhale and inhale. Good, 2 more. This is also a nice massage for the lower back. So a lot of people that have tight lumbar spines, this is a really nice way to loosen that up, especially first thing in the morning. All right, so now I want you to come to that neutral pelvis and then bring your arms down by your sides. And we're gonna do what's called marching. So I want you to take a deep breath in first, and then on your exhale, you're gonna bring your right leg up to tabletop. And then you're gonna bring it down on the inhale. Exhale, bring your left leg up. Good, inhale, place it down. Exhale, lift. So you're doing this while keeping that pelvis nice and stable, so no shifting. So if you have to bring a hand onto the pelvis to feel if that's happening, go ahead and do that. Good, inhale and exhale. Let's do 1 more on the left side. Good, and lift. All right, now we're gonna bring your right leg to tabletop, and then your left leg is gonna come up to meet it. So now we have our legs in a tabletop position. And we're gonna do our single leg toe tap. So keep that neutral spine. We're gonna inhale, tap the right foot down, lift it up, over to the other side. Good, inhale and exhale. So every time you exhale, think of pulling your belly button down towards the mat, down towards your spine, and that will help keep that engaged. Inhale, exhale, good. Let's do 1 more set after this. Good. And then go ahead and bring both feet down to the mat. All right, so now we're gonna keep our feet down for this first part and work on our ab curl. So our ab curl is kind of like an abdominal crunch. I want you to bring your arms up to the ceiling for this. So your arms are gonna move with the rest of your body as well. So we're gonna take our inhale here. Exhale, imagine you're coming up, you're gonna wheel up from your rib cage. So right at your rib cage, that's where you start to lift up. Your arms come down by your sides, and then we lower back down. And then you do that again. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good, 4 more. The last 3. Good, last 2. And last one. All right, now we're gonna add our marching to this. So as you come into your ab curl, that right leg is gonna lift up. Good, lower it down, switch legs. Exhale, lift. Good, and lower. Good. Good, nice deep exhale out. Good, 2 more sets. So here, obviously that spine is moving, but that pelvis is still staying in neutral. Good, last one. Good, now come up, stay in your ab curl. Good, little marching here. Right leg, good, and left. Good, right and left. Just 1 more set. Good, right and left. Lower that left foot down, lower all the way back down. All right, I want you to bring your hands behind your head now, and your elbows are gonna be nice and wide. So we're gonna do a little oblique twist, and we're gonna add that to our marching. So on your exhale, you're gonna lift up, twist towards your right knee as you pull your right knee up to tabletop. Good, lower that down, switch to the other side. Good, so that pelvis here, you still want staying in neutral. That's not twisting or bending. It's just that movement from the upper body and then from the leg in the hip socket. Good, exhale. Good, keep your elbows wide. Think of bringing armpit to knee. Good, last set. Good. Good, and then go ahead and bring your arms down by your sides. All right, walk those feet in just a little bit closer, and we're gonna continue that pelvic rocking up into our full bridge position. So let's do a rolling bridge first. So you're gonna take your inhale here. Exhale, start to flatten your low back into the mat as you peel the spine up and off. Good, inhale here at the top. Exhale, lower back down. Think 1 bone at a time, and then bring that pelvis back to that flat position. And then we exhale again, roll up. Good, keep those legs in parallel if you can. And then exhale to lower. Good, and release. Good, let's do 3 more just like that. And last 2. And the next one, you're gonna roll up but stay lifted here at the top. All right, so now you're gonna do a flat back bridge. So what that means is you're gonna hinge right at the hips as you lower the hips and the back down, and then you press right back up. So we lower and lift. So your back is staying in that long neutral spine and just moving at that hip joint. Good, and lift. Let's do 3 and 2. Last one. Good, and then lower the spine, coming all the way down. All right, let's go ahead and roll up to a seated position. So bring your legs into your chest. Good, and then come all the way up. All right, we're gonna stay facing that way. And we're gonna sit all the way up nice and tall. All right, so we're gonna stay seated with our feet on the mat, and you're gonna walk your feet. You can probably bring them a little farther away from the body. And you're gonna bring your arms forward. So this is imagine you are in your neutral spine in a seated position. So nice and tall here. All right, we're gonna take our inhale. On your exhale, you're gonna start to round your spine, start at the pelvis, and then you're gonna come back halfway so you're in that C curve. Good, take an inhale here. Exhale as you scoop the belly round and lift back up. Let's do that again, exhale. So you're imagining you're in a C position with your body from the crown of your head all the way to your pelvis. And what that means is that you're in a continuous curve, right? You want to see that curve all the way through the upper back and the lower back as well. Good, and roll up to lift. Good, let's do one more. Exhale, hold here. Good, you're gonna do little pulses up with the upper body. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, lift all the way back up. All right, bring your legs long on the mat and just stretch them out. We're gonna get a little forward fold before our next exercise. So sitting up nice and tall, and then you hinge forward at the hips, and then start to round forward. Let your head hang down. Feel that low back stretch in the backs of your legs. Maybe flex through your ankles here. That'll help stretch out your calves and your hamstrings. Good, take one more breath. All right, so you're gonna stack your spine back up to seated, and you're gonna bring your legs a little wider than your mat for what we call spine stretch forward. So for this one, again, you imagine you're starting in that nice tall position first. You're gonna bring your arms forward. So this is your starting position, shoulders are down. I want you to take an inhale as you start to bring your chin towards your chest, and you're gonna round forward with the upper body, but think of pulling your belly back behind you. And then you stack the spine back up. Good, and we do that again. Rounding the upper body forward, good reach. Good, and lift. And if this is really uncomfortable on your back or your legs, you can always bend the knees a little bit, and that'll help give you a little bit more space to sit up taller. Good, let's do 2 more. Good, and lift. This one should just feel really good on your back and on your spine. Good, and lift. Good, shoulders down, and then the arms can come down by your sides. All right, so we're gonna come into an all fours position. So that's your table pose on hands and knees. So John here has slightly injured one of his knees. So if you guys need a modification for anything like that, you can always double up your mat like this, and then go ahead and bring your knees on that. Yeah, that just gives that little extra padding there. All right, so once you're on your hands and knees, you're gonna go ahead and roll through some cat and cow. So you're gonna let your back arch down towards the floor as you lift your head and chest. And then you're gonna exhale, pull your low back up as you round your spine, drop your head. Good, let's do that again. Inhale through center into cat. And exhale, round. Good, let's do 2 more. Good, exhale. And last one. Good, and exhale. All right, now come to a flat spine. So you're imagining here that you are on your back, just like we were on our mat, and you're in that neutral spine, right? So you're not letting your back drop down, you're not arching too much in the lower back, you're just staying nice and neutral. All right, now with that, you're gonna keep a flat back, and you're gonna start to hinge forward and back at the knees and the wrists, yep. So you're just coming slightly forward and slightly back here. Still in that nice long neutral spine. Good, let's do 3 more. Good, last 2. Last one, you're gonna come forward into a kneeling plank position. So a kneeling plank, you might have to walk your hands forward to be underneath your shoulders, and you're in a nice straight line from your knees all the way through to the crown of your head. Yes, draw those shoulders down, but at the same time, press yourself away from the floor. Good, maybe pull the belly in and up just a little bit more and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, come back into that flat back all fours position. Move your hands if you need. And we're gonna do some single leg pulses. So still in that flat spine, you're gonna lift your left leg straight back behind you. So it's straight out at hip height. Good, keep the belly pulling in. Then you're gonna lift and lower the leg just a little bit, engaging through the glute and hamstring. Good. Really reach through that back toe. So really feel that engagement all the way through the back of the leg. Okay, let's do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now hold here. You're going to inhale here first and then exhale, round knee to nose. So pull that knee under you. Good. Inhale, stretch it away. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, reach. Good. 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. Good, and reach. Good, lower that knee down. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So send that right leg back now at hip height. Good, and then we're gonna start to pulse that leg up. Good, again, reaching nice and long. Let's do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Take your inhale. Exhale, round knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. Good. Bend it in. Good. Reach it out one last time. And then lower that knee all the way down. All right, we're going to turn to face seated towards the front. So go ahead and bring your legs off to, if you're mirroring us, it would be off to your left side. And this is our mermaid stretch. So this is just a nice side opening stretch. So you're gonna bring your arms out to a T and you're gonna drop your right hand down to the mat. Drop your elbow towards the mat and then reach that other arm over. Now hold here for a second. I want you to feel this top hip reaching down towards the floor. A lot of times what people want to do is lift it up. I want you to reach it down and so you see if you can feel that bigger stretch there. Good. Now I want you to use your core to lift you up through center. Do that counter stretch to the other side. Good. And then bringing the arms back out to a T and then you bring it up and over. Good. Roll up. Good. Hand comes down and lift. Okay, let's do 2 more on this side. And the whole time your chest and your whole front body is facing forward, so try not to turn down towards the floor as you come over. Good, and lift. Last counter stretch over. Good, go ahead and bring it all the way up, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, arms out to a T. Go ahead and bring that hand down, elbow down. Remember to keep that opposite hip down to the floor. Good, and exhale, lift. Good, coming through center. So this should just feel like a nice, flowy movement, right? We're not holding any tension. Just a beautiful side opening stretch, but still using that core and still finding that height and length in our spine. Let's do 1 more. Good, lift up. Good, and bring it over. All right, so staying on this side, so it would be your left side, you're gonna lay all the way down on that side. And for this, we're gonna do our Sideline Leg Series. For this one, you're gonna bring your arm kind of underneath your head and let your head rest on your arm. So this is kind of that beginning position. And we're gonna bring the legs forward. And let's go ahead and bend the bottom leg so it's a little bit for some more stability. All right, now that you're here, go ahead and grab your hand onto your top hip. Make sure it's not back behind the rest of your body, but right on top of that hip there. Pull your belly in, and now bring your front hand down to the mat. We're gonna do a long leg lift. So we're gonna lift this back leg up and down. Good, really reaching out of the hip sockets. We're still trying to find that length here. Good, so your core, your belly's pulling in and away from that moving leg. Okay, let's do 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Good, go ahead and keep it here at hip height. You're gonna do little circles. You wanna think about the size of a dinner plate. So the goal here is stability. So if you feel yourself rocking too much, try to either make the circles smaller or make sure you're engaging that core. Good. Now go ahead and hold, and then we reverse the circle. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bend that top leg so it's right on top of your bottom leg. And we're gonna do clamming where we keep the legs together, the feet together, and you just open up that top knee. So we're gonna open that top knee and lower down. So this really isolates that glute, especially as you're focusing on not moving the pelvis backward. So your pelvis is staying right where it is. There's that pelvic stability again. Good. Let's do 5, 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Good. All right, you're gonna go ahead and press yourself up to seated. We're gonna go ahead and switch our legs, moving to the other side. And get set up all the way down on this side. Again, your head is propped right on your arm. And the back edge of your body is lined up at the back edge of your mat. Legs are forward, but that bottom knee is bent for stability. All right, now stack those hips, keep them there. Reach that top leg long as you lift and lower. Good. Good, and reach. Toes and knees pointing forward. Good. 5, 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Good. Bring it out. Leave it at hip height. Little circles here. So obviously the bigger circles that you make, the more unstable you'll feel. So that'll get better over time as you continue to practice these. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and we reverse. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and bend your top knee right on top of your bottom. The feet are going to stay together, and we're going to clam as we open that top knee and close. So you're going to feel that one hip, right? One side is going to feel tighter than the other, or maybe this is your looser side. This is definitely my tighter side, so it's harder for me to open this leg. But that's why it's good to do these legs individually so that we can work one side without compensating with the other. Let's do 3 and 2. Last 1. Good. Bring that leg down. All right, we're going to roll right onto our bellies for some swan. So this is our extension work where we get more work in our upper back to help open up the front body. So go ahead and bring your head all the way down, and your hands are going to come right underneath the shoulders. So your forehead's on the mat. I want you to reach your legs nice and long, about a little wider than hip distance apart. And really important here to pull your belly up and away from the mat. So you almost want to imagine you have an egg underneath your belly button and you don't want it to crack. So you need to stay lifted and strong through that core. All right, so with the hands on the mat, they're going to stay on the mat. As you inhale, press into the hands as you lift the upper body. So this is a swan exercise. You're going to keep your elbows close to your sides, right? You're not coming up too much. Keep your core pulling in and then lower back down. Good. And again, inhale, press into the hands to lift. Keep the shoulders down. Good. And lower. Good. Let's do 3 more. Good. Last 2. Feel those shoulder blades pulling together down your back. And last 1. Good, and lower. All right, we're gonna prop them into our forearms. So if you know yoga, this might look like a Sphinx type pose, but the difference here is that you wanna keep your belly lifted up off the mat. So with Sphinx, you tend to kind of let your belly drop. So you just wanna make sure your belly's lifting away, right? Still engaging through that core. Now bring your legs a little bit closer together and slide the shoulders down your back. Now we're gonna take, this is your single leg kick. So we're gonna take your right leg, flex your ankle. You're gonna kick it towards you and then point, reach it away. We flex left, kick, and point, kick, and point. So really think of engaging through the hamstring and glute as you kick that leg in. Good. Kick, and point. And also check in with the rest of your body. Is your core pulling away from the floor, your shoulders down? Good. Let's do one more set. Good. And then lower yourself down. Go ahead and bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back into a child's pose. You can either widen those knees if that feels better, or keep the knees together as you sink the chest down towards the floor. I want you to take 3 deep breaths here. Oh yes, thank you, John. So John, with John's knees, he can't bend back this far. So if you have troubles as well, go ahead and stay in cat position like John's doing, so you make sure you get that arched position in your back just to stretch it out. So thank you, John, for that. All right, take one more deep breath. Good, and then go ahead and stack your spine, coming all the way up to seated, and go ahead and face forward. I'm gonna stay on my knees here, but if you're more comfortable in a different seated type position, just come into whatever's comfortable for you. Yep, you can bring them off to the side. And I just want you to feel your spine try to grow nice and tall towards the ceiling, or where we are, towards the sky. This beautiful canopy of trees right above us. I wish you guys could see it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I just want you to drop your shoulders down. Feel, hopefully, that your spine feels taller and more lifted. We're gonna take a couple deep breaths. I want you to inhale as you bring the arms out to the sides. Good, reaching towards the sky. And then exhale, bringing them all the way down. Good, last one. Inhale here as you open up. Good, and exhale, lower. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We really enjoy being out here and doing these workouts here outdoors with you. If you have a spot where you are, where you could take your workout outside, whether it's your backyard or somewhere else, I would encourage you to do that as well.